Or that he's proud today to know that something that he started, God used him in our lives, we are now propagating it. And effective counselors are usually those who sought counseling for themselves, Kina.
Right.
All right. So that's where it started. And after Claire got a certain degree of help, we were on our way to Viewfort. I was on an assignment. I think it was a preaching assignment. And she said to me, I would like to be there for women with my background.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to study counseling or psychology so that I could help women. So I said, get a university. At that time, I was in the architectural field for 30 years. I had no experience in the discipline of counseling.
Mm-hmm.
So all I knew, that's what she wanted. And we applied to Liberty University.
Mm-hmm.
We studied together and we did our first degree in psychology. Then I moved on to do a master's and then my first PhD and the second PhD in counseling. And Claire, well, we did our first degree together and then that's in psychology, and she went on to do her master's in counseling. So this is the brief history of what took us from where we were to where we are today. I am very comfortable in the counseling arena.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand it. Although I was very successful in the architectural field, very successful, but I feel so comfortable sitting with other human beings because God humbled me and He had me to understand the heart of others hurting. And they don't need a judge in their life. They need somebody who can see through their eyes, who can walk in their shoes. So Claire, you can add a bit to it.
Let me just share with the listeners, the viewers, that at the age of 12, I experienced abuse. And that changed the course of my life. Now, please don't feel sorry for me, because out of the pain came purpose.
There we go.
So I don't want you to feel sorry for me. This has happened. We cannot change what has happened. We can only learn from it and experience the things that we can do with that experience. And that's what happened to me. Out of the pain came purpose, and it led my husband and myself to open a church ministry called Beacon of Hope. Because this is a ministry that it deals with the spiritual aspect, but we focus on the psychological aspect as well, the emotional aspect. And we help persons deal with their past. You know, some of us, our past is like shadows just following us around because we don't want people to know. We don't want people to see.
Yes.
We don't want to show what's going on deep inside. So it's like a shadow following us around.
Some of us don't even want people to know that we are not well. Even physically, they hide illnesses. But you can't really hide it. You go to the doctor knows, the doctor has friends, there are the people at the hospital. Eventually, it will come out. It does not make sense.
And not just to help those persons who have experienced abuse like myself, because I know the repercussions of that.
Yes.
I know what can happen as a result, the effects, the long-term effects.
It affects our relationships. It definitely affected our relationship.
It did. And the thing is that there are persons who marry persons that have been abused.
Right.
And I know for sure you had no idea what my experience was. But all you saw was certain behaviors that was troubling.
That's what I saw. Let me go back. I was passing through Constitution Park and I saw this young lady. She smiled and she said, hello. We hadn't spoken before. She was 17 at the time and I was 23. 22. Your maths is better than mine, Claire. And when she left, all I remembered is her glittering teeth in the morning sun. It was brilliant, very nice teeth. I went to the office with that, Kina, and I wondered who's responsible for that person. And I decided to check that out for myself. So I used to work at Wide Lima in the boulevard, so I used to go opposite to watch the business. And that's where it started until I made my contact, but that's for another show.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The two of you mentioned listening from onset, right? It seems like a fairy tale. But behind
Yes.
that fairy tale that everyone is seeing, there was something hidden. There was pain.
There was
was
pain.
challenges. There was
Yes.
insecurity laid beneath all of that pain. How difficult was it for you, Dr. Phil, to have seen the love of your life going through something and not knowing what to do then?
She couldn't relate to the tremendous passion and love that God had given to me for her.
Right.
She thought that when I really knew her on the inside, that this would be the end of it. I wouldn't love her anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So her behavior was saying, let me take in front before in front take me. So she was behaving in such a manner to have me to get away from her.
Mm.
It was confusing to me. I remember her getting a new pair of glasses by Ferrens Dairy. There was an outlet there. And when she took off these glasses, there was something about her eyes, something in the background that said to me, this person needs you in their life.
Mm.
I can never forget that. That's an experience I'll never forget. And all through the difficulties with her, this is something that was always on my mind. That person needs somebody who genuinely loves her because she seems to have talent. There's something buried underneath unfinished business.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to mask those feelings.
Mhm,
You
mhm.
know, you go around, you pretend you're happy. You know, everybody looks at you and say, oh, you're such a beautiful person. And you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, I don't look beautiful.
Mm.
I don't feel beautiful.
Right.
Because they've seen themselves with the inner eye.
Mm-hmm.
They're scanning themselves with that inner eye, seeing all the darkness.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, so it is something I carried for 18 years. I didn't say anything to anybody, but I was feeling guilt. I was feeling shame. There were
Mhm.
so many feelings that needed to be brought to the fore
Right.
and dealt with, but it was all hidden. And of course, one day, eventually you would blow up because all those feelings hidden down, deep down in
Deep
your
down,
heart.
right.
One day something will happen and you'll explode. You'll be like a time bomb waiting to explode.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened to me. We almost got divorced, but God intervened.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that day when we went to the lawyer's office. We both walked up the steps, and there was the door. And we just stood outside the door, and nobody opened the door.
But the truth of that,
Brilliant.
the truth of that is there was no intention of divorce. Her behavior was suggesting she didn't want to be with me. I was wondering what's going on. So I said, let me see if that's what she wants.
She really wants. So
Because love's supposed to let love go, if that's what you want.
you've always had that saying. You should
Yes.
let the person go, and if they come back,
Yes.
right.
So I was so happy when that door was closed because that was not my intention. I just wanted to find out exactly what was on her heart.
So
Mhm.
thankfully, nobody came from the inside and opened. So
That's definitely an intervention.
Yes.
Yes, that's definitely an
and we
intervention.
decided, you know what, let's get some help.
Mm.
And that's when we went to counseling. for
And
the
Claire
first
was
time.
not. Claire was 17. I was more mature as far as life is concerned than she was. She really needed somebody in her life. Not a father figure because I didn't want a mother in my life. I didn't want to be a father figure to anybody. I wanted a lover.
Mm.
And that's what I was working for. And after we left there, I think that's when we got help
After,
from the
yes.
counselor.
After.
Yes. So we're saying to people, as bad as it may seem, first of all, we should really check things out, do a temperament test before we just get married to people. Sometimes a sexual encounter drives us to the altar, but there's no wisdom in that. That is confusion. We need to understand people, especially in times like this. And when we get to understand what counseling is all about, I think it is a great opportunity for our people to seek help and guidance before they get into marriage or into a serious relationship, not knowing anything about the individual's background.
Dr. Phil, you mentioned a temperament test. Why is it so important, though?
We are blessed with uniqueness by our Creator, if that's our philosophy of life. Okay, we have to understand we have quite a number of persons listening to us, diversity of culture, religious perspectives. So we have to be mindful of that and say, well, if your perspective of life is God, we are uniquely made. The inner person responds to people, places, and things differently.
Yes.
And we have to understand and respect that. How boring would the world be if each and every one of us, Kina, we were looking at things the same way, we love the same flowers, the same color? That would be boring. We're given diversity, and it makes life so dynamic, so interesting. That's why I love the Indian. And when I saw her, I was attracted to that. That's all I saw. And that's how the Lord got me.
The Indian in her.
Yes.
First.
I'm sorry,
But there's so many things
he went away. He went away thinking of me for the whole day, but I didn't think of him, unfortunately.
It's usually like that sometimes.
No, I wouldn't think that. I never thought that you would ever think of me because we just said hello.
Yeah. At the first hello.
Yes. I was searching at that time. I remember it was time for me to settle down.
Right.
So I was searching, and she was there in a little world with her big glasses. She just passed. I guess she knew me as a member of the Baptist.
Yes.
She was a member of a Baptist from another ministry. We never spoke. I never took notice of her, but that particular day, when God ready to unfold his business.
Oh, gosh.
So we do not choose. Oh, let me give you a little joke, Kina, and listeners. He came to Y Dilemma. I worked there for the summer vacation, and I continued working when I left St. Joseph's Convent. But he came in there to get an engagement ring for somebody else.
Oh, what?
And guess who assisted him?
You did?
Yes.
I was assisted by my future wife, not knowing that.
I was staring my husband in the face.
Wow.
I had no idea.
Oh, my God.
I had no idea. And it worked out.
Mm-hmm.
We married, and we celebrated our 46th wedding anniversary last month,
Yes.
the 29th of August.
And I am not tired of her. I'm always troubling her, always reassuring her. It's one thing, because my heart is genuine when it comes to that. But during the black shadows, the dark days, we had, in the midst of that, our son, our only son, came down with lupus. And that was a nightmare on the family.
Oh, my word.
So we had another big portion. And again, our only son, the doctor said, he just have about 5 years, but God is on his throne.
Yes.
He's alive today, and he gave us the most beautiful daughter. That's my daughter-in-law. I call her my daughter. That's another story in itself, as if it just jumped from a book. Yes, but another time, they will be on this program.
Okay,
you will meet with them.
Perfect.
Yes.
But you both chose careers where people come to you at their most vulnerable moments.
Yes.
And you spoke about the passion and what drew you to choosing that career. And it
Yes.
comes with great responsibility and great other aspects to guide these individuals in a time of uncertainty and change. What was that like for you, your first person that came to you with their problems?
Wow. Before, I was a counselor at George Charles School. That's 19 years ago, I think. Yes, in
That's
2000.
a long time.
Yes. And at that time, George Charles School, quote unquote, seemed to be very challenging. But I met with one Mrs. Emmanuel, a very passionate woman, very loving and kind. And she was in charge of a district. And at George Charles School, I developed a unique relationship with the children in that Mrs. Duvey at the time, she told us, don't touch, of course, that's in line, that's the ethics. Don't call them by their first name or whatever it is. But these kids were accustomed of being called Jamette, they never had a loving word, most of them I should say, from parents. So I started tying untied shoes. I would watch out for the little ones. And Ms. Dove said, one of these days, we had a meeting, Phil will get a kick, but leave Phil alone. Phil knows what he's doing. And sometimes parents would come there angrily with their children, and while they're talking or insulting teachers, I would notice something out of place on the child. I would bend down, tie the shoes, pull that parent aside. And I was able to turn the worst around. Now I'm reaping. I meet some on the aircraft. And quite recently, we got a letter and some photographs from one of these children. Sir, thank you. I am now married thanks to you, and I'm doing well. Another one, I met him. He called me. I said, that's you, son? He said, yes. I see you didn't recognize me. I said, that's you? Yes, sir. Then I pull him aside. Tell me something. What had you to respond to me? He said, sir, you are father to us. And one of these days I will explain that further. So counseling is, we went through it. We understand people have needs. And God humbled us, first of all, so that we don't sit as judges when people come before us.
And when people hear the word counseling, what's the very first truth you wish people understood?
Kina, thank you for that question. Counseling is a type of treatment. That is what must get the simplicity of it all. We have all types of definition, but I haven't heard the emphasis on it's a type of treatment usually referred to as therapy.
Yeah.
We have therapy for bone displacement and stuff like that. But counseling is therapy. It's a treatment.
Therapy, yes.
Okay? That's a very good question. As a matter of fact, this is the question that we are going to answer when we take off. But we just wanted our listening audience to understand where we're coming from so that they could know we are not in this just because we wanted money. It was not that we were not looking for a job.
Right.
We were hurting during that time. We were loaded with our issues, our son's health challenges. And by the way, when he was at his worst emotionally, we had to get a counselor for him. He used to just stay in the window because he saw all his friends progressing, friends he helped at school, graduating, moving on to do their masters, and he was just there. He had a sweetheart. She moved away, and boy, we knew that he was in trouble. So we got Miss Emmanuel, same person I was working with, and she came in and sat with him, and then the Lord sent Zana in his life. Good treatment.
Yeah.
And he started to improve from there. Okay.
Well, the doctors gave him 5 years to live, but it's almost 21.
Yes. By the grace of God.
By the grace of God. And we also have a daughter, Sheila.
Yes.
She lives in Florida. She's married, lives in Florida, and we have one granddaughter.
Before you get there,
Yeah.
Sheila didn't want anything to do with counseling. My parents in counseling, my brother. Guess what she's doing?
What is she doing?
She's a clinical counselor.
She's a clinical counselor in the United States.
It definitely works. A lot of times we do not think about it, Dr. Phil or Clarissa. We do not really think of the importance of counseling. We think it's for crazy people. I don't need that. If I go to a counselor, if everybody knows I'm going to a psychologist, a psychiatrist, then they're going to think, oh, I have a loose screw. I'm cray-cray. But that's not the case. Don't wait. A lot of us wait till it's too late.
Yes, when the chassis is on the road,
Right.
unfortunately. Yes.
We wait till it's too late.
And active seekers are the ones who benefit from counseling the most. We had a reason to seek counseling out. We needed that. We couldn't handle these loads. And we went to get help.
So over the years, we've been trying to demystify the taboo associated with counseling.
Yes.
So we have been successful. We're not able to say how many, but we know we have been successful because many persons have crossed our paths over the years.
Some we cannot remember, some come back to say. As a matter of fact, this week we had one who came home and he said, I owe that to you and Claire. I have not done it before. And I want to say thank you. There was a young lady from the George Charles School. She wrote, you found a wounded bird by the roadside. No one cared for that bird. But you stooped down and you picked up that bird. You picked up that bird and you cared for that bird. It ended by saying, now, thanks to you, that bird can fly again. One of these days, I'll go into detail. All right, so we have been successful. And if counseling follows its path, it will succeed. If one does not want counseling, no one can help you. If you don't understand what it entails, then you will come there with false expectations and waste your money, waste your time. Some people will say to the family member, a child in particular, a boy going to school and is naughty, a girl, you need counseling. And as though counseling is a punitive action.
Right.
I refuted that at George Charles School. I wouldn't want any teacher to say, you go to the counselor, as though you're sending the child for me to punish that child.
You're etching fear into that
Yes.
child, pretty much.
Right. So I diffused that.
Right.
And when you come into the counselor, you come into a judge, you come into a facilitator, someone to help you process what you're feeling, what you're going through, why you're behaving the way you're behaving. And I use some sweet, nice, compassionate tricks that I will share. Unorthodox, I should say, unorthodox styles of doing things. And parents would come to the school and tell me, what did you do to my child? Nothing. Your child?
I remember a parent telling me, what did you do to my daughter? I said, well, I spoke with her. And well, what did I do? I just had her to see what she was engaged in. It would not benefit her in the long term. And she understood it a little differently rather than shouting at her and just telling her, you're a bad child, you're doing this, you're doing that.
Right.
But you go through the process with them. And the question I often ask the young people, what legacy would you like to leave behind? You're at school right now, you're misbehaving. You will get older, I guess, if God spare your life. When you get older and you meet your teachers on the streets, how are you going to feel? What is that teacher going to think about you? Right, look at that boy that was so troublesome. Look at that girl that gave me so much trouble that I didn't want to study and everything. Or will they smile when they see you?
Like they do to us. Yeah, that's so wonderful.
It's something else in our culture, right? We are often told to tough it out, to keep problems to ourselves inside the family circle, or to pray about it instead of seeking, professional help. How do you address that, cultural resistance while still respecting people's values?
Okay. We're going to address that a little later, Kina, because there are two aspects to this program.
Right.
We want our listeners to have a reason to tune into the material, not just to hear this program and to forget it, to shelve it. So what Claire and I decided, we are going to give an incentive, because we're human beings, children, husbands, wives, where they get an incentive to change. When you tell a child, stop doing that, why should I? Because I'm your mother, because you're my mother. But when they realize that you have a responsibility to bring them to social and economic self-sufficiency, because you might not always be alive. And I want you, my son, my daughter, to be able to stand on your feet. It makes a world of a difference. So we want to give our listeners an incentive to listen and store the material. So at the end of this, we're supposed to start by now, the second phase.
Right.
We will be looking forward to the first 5 callers on every show to tell us what stood out for them. We're not putting any pressure on you. We just want you to tell us during the program, every week, what stood out for you. And guess what? Kina will be taking note. And the first 5 callers, they will be entered into a box. At the end of the month, Kina will be dipping, and the first name to come up will be receiving a check of $200. How about that, Kina?
I love the idea, actually.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a way. That's definitely an incentive, because there's so many things that one could take from the program.
Yes.
And to give them the opportunity to listen again and again and
Yes.
again. And not just listen, though, but to put what you say into practice and pass it on.
Yes.
Passing on knowledge is very important with an incentive.
Yes,
as
if there's an
added bonus.
incentive,
Yes.
they will want to remember, it might
Yes.
stick.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you have so many wonderful programs, huh? One after the other.
Right.
Very therapeutic, again, for the listening audience. They speak, they laugh with you all. You, Tony, and Andre, fantastic when it comes to that. I believe this radio station, there are others, but this one in particular, remember, we have been elsewhere.
Yeah.
It has something extra. So it's good for our country, it's good for the diaspora, it's good for the globe at large. But remember, my heart is for my country. I want to know that our people are healthy mentally.
Okay.
All right. So can we now, we will just touch the question about counseling, and then we'll open the lines.
Right.
People will tell us what stood out for them, if they like the program, and stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay. So let me say this. Listen carefully. Counseling is a type of treatment usually referred to as talk therapy. Now, while it involves giving advice, Kina, to a less degree and listening to a greater extent, it is none of the two. That's what people believe. Counseling is listening. Counseling is giving advice, but it is none of the two. Listen carefully. The focus of counseling is facilitating a person or persons in navigating through problems, predicaments, crises, etc., by one who is capable or trained in a setting that lends itself to the process.
Right.
So you might go into the net, you will not find that, because I put that together in a form that persons will understand. So you say, oh, counseling is a type of treatment. Yeah. I thought I would just sit there and people give me advice. No, if we do that, we would not do injustice to you. We want you to think for yourself. So we challenge you. And of course, the facilitator must be a good listener, because if he's not a good listener, he or she would not be able to process and give you information that will help you make informed choices as to where you want to go.
That's correct.
All
That's
right.
correct.
So I hope we get that part. Now, the goal now, remember that you would need somebody who's capable or trained in a setting that lends itself to that process. The goal now, we want to know the goal. The goal is the resolution of the disturbing issue.
Yes.
Isn't that? Masadi Sanke, well,
Was that
Now-
the Creole too?
Make it when it's not a buy. I would like you, if you speak in Creole, the elderly, those of you who love Creole, I love the Creole, and I have reason for loving the Creole. Okay, that saved Claire's life. All right. So I would like you to call us, even if you speak in Creole, and share with us and tell us what stayed for
Stood out
you,
for
what
you.
stood out for you.
Yes.
Even if you're going to do that in Creole, Dr. Phil Kai MSA.
So,
Now, it is important that counseling provides a safe space where individuals can openly express their thoughts without fear of judgment. It means the counselor is not a judge.
that's right.
So with this, Skeena, I think it's time for us to hear from our listening audience, to make contact, and we want to say hello to Mr. Spencer and his wife. That would be somebody new listening to this program. If you are listening this morning, I hope so. Good morning to you. Hope all is well.
Yes, and of course to our family.
Yes.
If you're listening, Phil.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know Fazana might be at work, but Phil might be listening.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if Sheila is listening, because she's a counselor as well, so she's working overseas. Yes, and to all our listeners, we are very happy that you are tuned in. So please call us. And we were speaking about the fact that persons who listen, they can learn. Even speaking about my abuse past, I'm sure there are persons who are listening may have experienced the very same thing as a child, and they are able to relate. And this program is going to be beneficial to you as well, to help you along the way.
So this moment, Kina, see if we can make contact with some.
Okay, perfect.
Remember the first 5.
The first 5 callers who would call and let us know what really stood out for them for the first airing of the healing process right here on Rev-Up St. Lucia. The numbers to call 572-9710. That's the studio line. The number again, 572-9710. WhatsApp, 2870971. Call there as well. We have a message from Madrina Monroe. She says, good morning, Kina. Good morning, Pastor Phil.
Good morning.
And Claire.
Hi,
Someone is
Madrina.
calling. Glad you're back. It's Madrina Monroe. So we have a
Yes.
caller. So we're going to take that one.
Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Phil. and
Good
Mrs.
morning.
Phil.
Good morning.
Morning.
What stood out for me, really, and I'm so happy I listened, was how you explain counseling.
Okay.
What counseling is. Because I always have this negative thing about counseling. I've been
Okay.
through counseling. And I've had very bad experience with my counselors. The one that I really felt okay with was the psychotherapy. But your
Okay.
explanation of counseling I just wish every counselor can just say the things you said, or,
Explain it.
Yes, explain what counseling is. And really and truly, a lot of counselors give you advice. Go home and do this and come back. It's like, homework.
Well, homework is okay. Homework is okay. Yes. Yeah.
I know. But just the way you explained it, it opened my mind a little. And I guess unfortunately, I did not have a counselor like you. But that was really, really good. And that was the most important.
But caller, let me
part.
give you a little guidance here. There are over 450 approaches to counseling, but they all lead to the same resolution, regardless of the road that is taken. You understand what I'm saying? So if the person is capable or trained, that person should be able to effectively fulfill that role to bring the client to that place where they can find a resolution for the ensuing problem, predicament or crisis. All right?
Yes.
Thank you for calling. We want to make sure that we get the first 5 callers. Your name, give us your name, please. Give Kina your name.
Hi,
Ivy
Virginia.
Kitwana.
Oh, okay then. All right.
Thank you so much, Hi, Virginia. Thank you for calling. We'll take our
Yes.
next caller. So our first caller shared that what stood out most for her was that Dr. Phil explained counseling, the clarity and the perspective in his explanation pretty much really opened her mind to what counseling is about. And that's what I, Virginia, called and said. We have 4 more calls to take. So
Yes.
wherever you are listening right now, do call us and let us know what really stood out for you at the start of today's program. The numbers to call, 572-9710. 1 second, 572. We got another caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Pastor Phil.
Good
Good
morning,
morning
to
to
you.
your wife also, and good morning to the lovely Kina.
Good morning. Hi.
So I'm not lovely.
It's just a different attitude.
That's okay, sweetheart. That's okay. I know Kina would laugh at that.
He's just playing. Oh, good morning, Christine. How are you?
Okay, fine, thank you.
Great.
What really stood out for me this morning is the manner in which the two of you all gave that briefing on yourself
Mm-hmm.
and what actually got you to where you are today,
Mm-hmm.
to really able to reach out and to help people who are hurting inside
Mm-hmm.
and maybe afraid to reach out
Yes.
to somebody else.
Yes. Beautiful. Yes, I
And the other
appreciate you
thing-
sharing that.
Yes, this was really, really inspiring. And the other thing again, when you spoke about what the goal of the whole psychology thing is
The
about,
goal of counseling, the resolution.
of counseling,
Yes.
yes, being able to get a resolution
For the disturbing
so
issue.
that's of the disturbing issue.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
This really stood out for me.
Beautiful. Thanks for calling.
Thanks for calling.
Your name goes
Okay,
into the
and
box.
your name?
Okay, Christine.
Okay. Thank you, Christine. Thanks for calling. A second caller for today. Thank you so much, Christine, for calling. Okay, so she said, our first caller, we're going back to our first caller, Virginia shared that what stood out most for her was the way you explained counseling, the clarity of that, and the perspective of your explanation. Christine says it's the way the two of you shared your own journeys to bring it all together, what you've gone through and how you got to where you are today. That really resonated with her. And the stories, your story, serve as encouragement for others to reach out to encourage someone they know to seek counseling as well, and they themselves to seek counseling. I'm paraphrasing here, guys. So,
yes, that's good.
So
Beautiful.
that's what I'm doing.
You're doing well.
She also highlighted the true goal of counseling, being able to heal and grow to move forward, pretty much. That's our second caller.
That's great stuff.
The number again to call if you're listening to The Healing Process right here, hosted by Dr. Phil and Dr. Clarissa. The numbers to call 572-9710 or 287-0971. 572-9710. That's the studio line. WhatsApp 287-0971.
Just for clarification so that we don't get into confusion, Clarissa is not PhD.
Oh,
she has
okay,
a
sorry.
master's.
So she has a master's. Thank you for clarifying.
She's a professional.
Thank you.
In that area.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yes.
Right. So we have three more callers to get. 572. We have another one coming in. Let's see. I think that's Madrina. Good morning, Madrina. How are you?
Hi, Madrina.
Good morning, Gina. How are you?
I'm doing great, actually. How about you?
Hello,
y'all
good morning.
We're doing
Great. Just you calling us to tell us what stood out for you. We are very, very happy
our
about that.
long-time friend, Madrina.
Well, I'll have to give you a joke about what stood out for me, because when I heard you say that the Indian was what you were, what got you,
Yes.
my husband thought I was an Indian when he first met me because I had Jerry curls.
If Andrew was there, he would
Oh my
die.
gosh.
He thought it was Indian he was getting to,
Okay.
because I was wearing Jerry curls, so that attracted him to me.
Mm.
So anyway, 35 years later, we are still there.
Beautiful.
Making strong,
Beautiful. Congratulations.
So the story about your life, it really stood out to me, and I think I might need a little bit of counseling right now, because I don't know if you all heard, but I lost my brother in St. Lucia. We were just there. We just came back 2 days ago, and it was not. It's so tough.
What you would need, sweetheart, is not counseling, is grief debriefing. And there's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And after this debriefing, there may be residual issues that would require counseling. But what you need is debriefing. So if you're overseas and you're seeking help, ask for someone who's capable of having you to go through a debriefing process.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, but it's so good to have your back.
Oh, it's great to hear from you.
I'm off on a Thursday, so I'll be able to listen.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Wonderful.
Beautiful.
Yes.
And don't forget, folks,
All right.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you for calling. Thank you so much for calling.
if at the end of the day you do not want the $200 because you're overseas, please identify somebody who's in need in St. Lucia, and we can send that money, give that money over to them. We would be happy to do that.
Yes.
Yes.
Madrina said what really stood out for her was when you mentioned that part of being your wife being Indian was what really, piqued your interest. Then something about her, and she also pointed out that her husband, when he saw her, he thought that she was Indian, but she was wearing
Andre
jerry
would
curls.
love that. Andre would
part
die.
really stood out. But she also said the moment of your story, the story of your life, it also truly stood out for her as well, and it's that aspect of that too.
So you see, Kina,
We have another call coming in.
at the core of a successful counselor is the experience they had for themselves.
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Sylvester. How you doing?
Oh, we have the first mail for the day.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kina.
Good morning.
Thank you. For
Good
taking
morning,
my
Dr.
call.
Phil.
Good morning.
And good morning, your wife. I can't remember her name.
Claire.
Claire,
Claire. Good morning.
Good morning.
good morning to you.
Okay. Thanks for accepting my call.
You're
most
welcome.
Dr. Phil, what really catch me this morning is when you said, I don't know if I quoting you right, when you said counseling is not a cure.
It
That
is
stood out for me. It's a journey.
It's a treatment. Counseling is a type of treatment. It is not giving advice or listening, although it entails these to a lesser and greater extent. But counseling is a type of treatment, said usually referred to as talk therapy or talk treatment.
You can say almost like a journey to the cure.
A process to the cure. Well, yes, a journey. We can say that. A journey. Yes.
Well, this is what stood out to me because most people believe counseling, when you go counseling, that it's a cure, but I was happy to hear it's a process.
Yes.
This one stood out for me. And doctor, before I go, is it wise if you counseling somebody to have both of them in the same room?
Well, it all depends. If you are there to see us for relationship issues, marital issues, parent-child issues, it would entail the parties that are hurting. So it is very important if a gentleman has problems with his wife. Sometimes you may say, you need counseling, but this is your spouse, and your issue, your problem, your predicament may be affecting your family. So the family would need assistance. Sometimes one part of the family may say to a husband, a child, you need counseling. But that is not correct. That's not the approach that we should take. Claire had issues. It was affecting the family. We needed help. So we went together so I could say to the counselor, this is what is mystifying me. This is what I don't understand.
Right.
I would like to understand it because I love her. I want to continue my life with her. Help me understand what she's going through.
Okay.
So it is important at times. If you have an individual issue, you have a sexual dysfunction issue, and you want to see a counselor to cope with that after probably seeing a medical practitioner, and they tell you what is going on, and they say to you it's your mental attitude from being rejected some time ago, then you need a counselor. Personally, you don't need anybody else with you.
Okay.
Thanks for calling, huh?
Thank
It's very
you
important.
so much,
Welcome.
Mr. Sylvester.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thanks for
Yeah.
calling. The numbers you have to call again, just a reminder for you, if you're just joining us for the first time, it's the healing process with Dr. Phil and Clarissa right here. The number is 572-9710. That's the studio line, 572-9710. WhatsApp, call there too, 287-0971. Tell us what stood out for you in anything that Dr. Phil or Clarissa may have said at the start of today's program. And
even if they have a question, once they call
question?
within the first 5,
yes.
yes.
2 more callers to take. We've got number 1, number 2, number 3. Our third caller said that Mr. Sylvester, he said what stood out for him was your explanation about what counseling is, and he wanted to rectify some things that were said.
Yes.
And you expounded on that, which you said that it's a type of treatment usually called talk therapy.
Right.
And he also went on to say that many people think counseling is a cure, but in reality, it's a process.
Oh,
It's a healing.
It's a
it's
healing
a
process.
healing
yes.
process. It's
Yeah.
you don't just put a Band-Aid on it and say,
Right.
okay, tomorrow morning you'll be okay. It's a process. It takes time because some people remain in the issue, battling with the issue for years.
Yes.
And the expectation is that I sit with a counsel for 50 minutes and everything will be all right.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them don't follow up.
That's right.
Hmm.
And the journey of healing is hindered.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Please make use of the time.
Please make use of the time. The number is to call. I've said it. I'm going to repeat that. If you want to call, the number is 572-9710, 572-9710, or 287-0971. Okay. No one on here. We have 3 callers so far. The first, Iphigenia Kitwana, said that what stood out most for her was the way Dr. Phil explained counseling, the clarity and the perspective in his explanation, and it really opened her mind to what counseling is about. Madrina Monroe, she called as well, and she says it's the way the two of you shed your own journeys and what you've been through and how you've gotten to where you are today, and your stories serve as encouragement for many people listening today to call, and take that first step towards counseling. And she also highlighted the true goal of counseling, and it's being able to heal, grow, and to move forward as well.
Yes. Even if you don't call to say what stood out for you, but if you call to say, look, I appreciate the program, whatever it is, or if you ask a question, we still will document you as having called within the first 5.
Within the first 5, yes. So we have 3 calls. Iphigenia Kitwana, Madrina Monroe, and Mr. Sylvester. Thanks for accepting my call. We need 2 more calls.
So while we're waiting, we can...
Yes, you mentioned that a counselor is not a judge. Maybe we can elaborate on that a bit.
Right.
Yes, sometimes couples would seek counseling and they would sometimes come with a list of he did that to me and she did that to me.
Ooh.
And during the intake, which is a very precious and important aspect of the counseling program, where the clients walk in, and as a professional, one needs to read them their rights to confidentiality and to settle them. So during this period, I usually explain to them, I am not a judge. Counseling is not about judging who's right and who's wrong. We are going to form an alliance, a team, the enemy, the problem, the predicament. We're going after it. No, I will not allow any one of you to turn me, Counsel Phil, into a judge. And guess what? I am very good at knowing when you try to turn me into a judge. When one is speaking, you will want to raise your hand. You will be speaking with your body language. You will be disturbing me because I am not, I cannot tell what you came to see me for. I want to listen.
Yes.
If you want to judge, you go to the courts. I am a facilitator. Do you get that? I want them to understand that. And they feel so comfortable. They relax. Now I can express myself without being judged, without being interrupted.
Yeah.
And they agree with me that if you do that twice, you raise your hand, you interrupt, can we agree that I put you outside the office with Claire? And they agree. So we move along smoothly. Yes.
Right.
But every now and then they break the rule, right?
Yes, it's that one would, when, let's say, the husband says something, the lady with the body language, let's say, you speaking, but I haven't said anything, Counselor. Oh, yes, you're saying lots.
Yeah, the body language is saying a whole lot more.
Because words just 7%, body language 38, tone of voice 38, and body language 55% respectively. So we tell a lot from body language. Yes. And we're getting any more persons interested in the $200 at the end of the month? What's going on?
No,
we need 2 more callers.
The phone line?
Yes.
Yes, and one of the things a counselor would come in and you would ask them, what are your expectations of me?
Yes.
Hello, good morning. I think we have someone on the line. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I've been listening to the program and it's very informative.
Okay.
But what I want to ask is what happens when one partner wants to go to counseling and the other one doesn't want to? I'll be listening on the radio.
Okay, beautiful.
Thank
but
you so much.
We'll
Would you
still put your name down.
Oh, she hanged up already.
Okay. Can you call us back, please?
Or you could send us a WhatsApp message with your name, please.
Yes. This happens all the time because people are yet to understand the whole philosophy behind counseling. But when somebody needs help, let's say your marriage is affecting you, your marital relationship, and you can need coping strategies. Let's say the individual would not want to accompany you.
Right.
You can go to the counselor for coping strategies. And usually, most likely, when I'm through, if the female walks in first, I will assure her, your husband will not feel comfortable with you going to see, especially a male counselor.
Right.
You dress yourself nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Now, men don't listen to that. You do the hairdo, and you going out. You
Yes.
come in to see your counselor. Most times, they follow her to see where she's going.
Mm.
And they learn she's getting counseling from Dr. Phil. Soon, the gentleman is in my office, and he's making more progress than the female.
Really?
Men don't initiate going to counseling,
Oh.
but women would go to counseling.
Women would.
Unless the chassis is on the road.
Unless the chassis is on the road, they would seek me when it's midnight.
Okay.
All right? But women seek counseling more than men.
Right.
They go initially, but afterwards, when the men make up their mind, they recover faster than the females.
So the question was asked if one party is willing.
Yes.
They can
Yes, you can come in for
come in
coping
counseling.
strategies.
Yes, for coping strategies to deal with the situation. It's not a resolution to the problem.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. We have another caller, Dr. Phil, Clarissa.
Hello,
Good
good morning
morning.
to you.
Yes, good morning.
Yes.
What stood out for me today is just you being here with us again.
Okay, wonderful. I
Oh.
appreciate that.
Yes, because I've been listening to you for years.
Mm-hmm.
I really missed the program.
Oh, you
Thank
missed the
Thank you
program.
for
Wow.
being here.
Yes, and you found me on Rev-Up
Yes,
95.5. Wonderful. Okay, Claire and I will try our best to be here for persons like yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Our ministry is investing in that. We're not doing it. We're paying Rev-Up St. Lucia because they deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wonderful place to be, and once you tune in there, you'll find us there every Thursday if God spare our lives. So pray for us, right?
Can I have your name, please?
And I really appreciate how you said that you don't do it for the money. You are not in it for the money.
Right. That's not what got us there. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Can you give us your
Can you
name?
give us your name, please?
Oh, my name is Colleen Emmanuel.
Colleen?
Colleen Emmanuel.
Thank you so much, Colleen. Thank you so much for calling. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for calling.
There we
That's
go.
our last caller, which brings us to the end of today's
Beautiful
program.
on time, isn't it?
And yes, it was. Any
Okay,
final
folks.
words?
Yes. It was a joy being with you, and as you heard, being back because persons are used to hearing my voice with Mr. Andrew Paul and Tony to a less extent, Tony. Yes, and so it is a joy to be back. As I said to you, Kina, you, Tony, and Andre, what you all are doing are very therapeutic. It have people to ventilate their feelings, whether it's political or otherwise. But there is wisdom among you all to sort of regulate the dogmatic statements that may come with that, which is beautiful. And I hope that we can be a blessing to Rev-Up St. Lucia and that our presence could actually do what we came here to do.
Clarissa?
And don't forget, folks, healing isn't a destination, it's a process.
Yes.
We thank you for listening and viewing, and we hope that you could join us next time. It was so wonderful having you.
Thank you so much. That was the healing process with Dr. Phil and Clarissa right here on Rev-Up St. Lucia 97.1 FM.
Have you noticed behavioral changes in self and loved ones that trouble you? You're losing your mind, but it just wouldn't go away. Well, join Dr. Phil, clinical counselor, and his beloved Clarissa, counseling psychologist, on The Healing Process every Thursday, 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on Rev-Up St. Lucia 95.9 FM.